Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today we're getting ready and we are using a few Saie Beauty products. This isn't exclusively a full face of Saie Beauty, but I did get their new foundation. I got two shades here. I've got the shade 6 and the shade 8. This is the Glowy Super Skin Foundation and I have been wearing this for the last few days. I love this foundation. It's beautiful, but we're gonna get into that when I get to applying this product. And I thought I would share their blush. I've got their loose powder, their bronzer, and then we're gonna mix in some Danessa Myricks, a little bit of NARS, Bobbi Brown, just to create a kind of a neutral everyday look. So let's go ahead and get ready. I'm gonna start by prepping my skin and I'm using the face base from Bobbi Brown. This is a great primer if you have dry skin. It is very hydrating. It is kind of like a foundation primer and a moisturizer in one. I like to really rub it in my hands. It's kind of a thicker consistency, so I like to kind of really warm it up, rub it in my hands, and then kind of press it into the skin. My skin has been on the drier side and we just got a cold front in Austin, so my skin is more dry than normal. So I'm just kind of really working this into the skin. I'm also gonna just run it down my neck. So it's just gonna help give a grip to the foundation. It's also, again, gonna just kind of refresh and rehydrate the skin. I did put my skincare on this morning and I used my SPF already. I didn't use my tinted SPF. Whenever I go in with a primer or another product before foundation like this, I typically will skip a tinted SPF and I will go with just a transparent SPF. All right, so let's go in with the foundation. I'm shade 8, by the way. This foundation, let me share how it's described online and then I'll kind of give you my experience with it. I find foundations are really going to vary depending on your skin type, your skin texture, the climate that you live in, but this is how the foundation is marketed. It's a lightweight serum foundation. By the way, I love serum foundations. I've been all about them lately. Serum foundations are typically very light in consistency, so they're not heavy or thick at all on the skin. And with medium buildable coverage, it brightens and leaves a luminous finish. It blends easily for hydrated and seamless second skin appearance. So it has medium coverage with a radiant finish. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna do one pump. The texture of this is really lightweight. So this is what one pump looks like. If you see that I put my hand on, you see that product starting to slide down pretty quickly. That indicates that it's very lightweight. And I'm going to start in the center of my face to build some coverage. Oh, it's so beautiful. I have to say, Radiant, I was just thinking about this the other day. The technology in cosmetics has really advanced over the last several years. When I used to think about Radiant or glowy foundations back in the day, like you didn't have these super long wearing, like Radiant matte finish foundations that we're seeing today. And I always would shy away from Radiant foundations because I live in Texas, it's really hot. So I always wanted something matte that would stay matte, control oil throughout the day and just look good. And I couldn't wear Radiant foundations here most of the year because they would get too shiny. But like I said, technology in cosmetics has come so far and now you have these beautiful, lightweight, glowy, but matte finish, long wearing Radiant foundations. They just blow my mind and I'm all about it. They typically look more natural on the skin. They have more of a skin-like finish. This particular formula is very lightweight. In general, most serum foundations are gonna be lightweight, but this one I would say is even on the lighter weight for a serum foundation. So there's a lot of flexibility. You can really shear this out to get a very natural coverage, almost like a veil of coverage over your skin, or you can build it to get that medium coverage that it describes. Oh, so pretty. The skin is just glowing. It is absolutely beautiful. These two products combined work really, really well together. This alone, before applying it before foundation, is going to give that extra hydrated, glowy look. So no matter what foundation you're using, it's going to add some luminosity to it. But the two of these together is really nice. Next, we're going to go in with an oldie, but such a goodie. This is the NARS Radiant Cream Concealer, and I am the shade Custard. Everything I'm using today, by the way, can be picked up at Sephora. This video is in partnership with Sephora. I love working with Sephora. It's really one of my favorite retailers to shop for cosmetics. Going into Sephora, I equate to me as like going to a therapy appointment. There's just something about walking into a Sephora that just lifts my mood and makes me feel all better and all warm and fuzzy inside. Tell me I'm not the only one. Tell me I'm not the only one. Do any of you guys feel that way? Like you instantly walk in and you like see the clouds parting and the birds chirping. I mean, maybe that's a little dramatic, but honestly, some days that's how it feels. It's just like a little trip to Sephora can lift my spirits. This concealer is such a great, like, holy grail oldie but a goodie because it really stands the test of time. Because it's such a natural looking concealer that gives great coverage. It's very hydrating underneath the eye. It's such a good one. So hopping back over to Say Beauty, we're using the Sun Melt Medium Bronze Cream Bronzer. I love this product. I've had this for, I think I purchased this last year. This is a pretty rich color on me, so I'm just gonna have a little light hand so that I can kind of gradually build. This bronzer has a lot of warmth to it, so it really gives you that sun-kissed look. It's definitely better as a bronzer, not necessarily a contour, because it is pretty warm. So I put a little bit on my nose, but I do think it's a little too deep. So I'm going to take my foundation brush and I'm just going to bounce it on top of that. I didn't add any foundation. I'm just going to soften that on my nose. Whenever you apply too much cream products, whether it's a bronzer, a contour, or a blush, you can always do that. You can always take your foundation brush or a beauty sponge and just bounce it on top of the area that you applied too much. It almost works like a magic eraser. So for blush, I'm going in with the shade Rosy. This is the Dewy Blush by Say, and I purchased this last year. I remember liking it. I remember it having a lot of pigment. It's been a while since I used it. So what I'm gonna do is I pulled this out and it did pick up a whole lot of product on the applicator. So I'm actually just going to put a little swatch on my hand so that I can control how much I apply on my cheeks. I don't want too much. I'm gonna use the same brush that I use for bronzer, and I'm just gonna go in with the tip, kind of work it from my hand into the brush. I'm not going directly from my hand to my face because I'll likely apply too much product. I'm really working that back into my hand to kind of blot it. You can see this product does have a lot of pigment. For cream blushes, it's definitely more on the heavier pigmented side. So I want to control and always start off with less. Oh, that's so pretty. That is stunning. Really pretty, warm, peachy pink, quite a bit of a dewy finish to it. Okay, that's gorgeous. Gonna take it up a little bit higher here. Perfect. The cheeks are rosy and dewy. I love the glow, but I'm definitely gonna cut that down a tad bit. I'm gonna go and set everything with the Say Beauty loose powder. This was used on me for a photo shoot that I did, was it last year? And the makeup artist that did my makeup, her name is Carla. She's a, oh, I grabbed the wrong product. She is a makeup artist and a photographer. I'll insert some images that she shot for us and of me here. Super talented, like incredibly talented. She does the makeup and photography. So this is what I meant to grab. She used this on me and she raved about it. And every time anytime she does my makeup, I'm always looking through her kit to see what she's using. A lot of the brands I'm very familiar with. They are a lot of brands that you can get from Sephora. She also uses some like pro brands that you've probably never heard of. So I always love going through her kit to see like what she's using and get her recommendations. But yeah, she raved about this powder. By the way, I got shade medium. It's translucent medium. It's got a slight peachy tone to it. And I'm just using a small powder brush because I really want to target where I apply this powder. I don't want to go in and powder the whole face. I really just kind of want to powder the center of the face and then underneath that eyes to prevent any creasing from my concealer. Just gonna set the center of the face, kind of set the chin, and just kind of powder right around like that apple of my cheek. Just kind of right around it. I'm not gonna go over the cream products that I apply, but I am going to kind of almost create like a little border around where those cream products end. That'll kind of work as a border and keep them from migrating or melting or moving throughout the day. It'll also soften the pigment a little bit. Gorgeous. Okay, I'm having fun. I'm having fun today doing my makeup. When I have the time and I can sit down, I'm not in a rush and I can really just be artistic and have fun, it is the best therapy. Okay, skin is done. Let's move on to eyes. For eyes, I grabbed a few of the Color Fix from Danessa Myricks. I think we're gonna play with these. Yeah, let's play with these and see what we come up with. I love this product. I have talked about this a lot over the last year or so. This is a product that I was kind of intimidated with when I first saw it. Actually, I passed by this multiple times and thought it was more of an artistry brand or like a pro artistry product. And I'm not really doing makeup as a professional makeup artist anymore. I'm really just doing makeup on myself. And I always try and find products that I feel like I can recommend to you all or that are user friendly. And for some reason, I was always scared of this. I didn't quite know how it worked. When I purchased my first one of these and I tried it, it was like the best discovery. I'm like, how have I been sitting and sleeping on this for so long? I love it so much, you guys. These are all ones that I've purchased since I tried my first one. This is a really innovative product. It can be used on the eyes, the cheeks, or the lips. Now I'm going to be very open. Like some of these, you would, just because of the color, you probably wouldn't use them on your cheeks and your lips. You know, you'll use them for your eyes more than likely. Maybe some of them you can use on other areas. But anyway, my point is that they are like a thick liquid cream product. They are super long wearing. So once you apply them, they stay put. They're absolutely beautiful. They're very easy to work with. You just need to have the right tools. So I'm going to go in with, we're going to use this shade right here. This is the shade Exposed. It's a matte shade and it's a really beautiful kind of taupe shade. You only need a tiny amount, you guys. I literally squeezed out the smallest amount from here and I don't even think I will use all of these. I mean, you will probably never go through an entire one of these. You will put it in your will and pass it on to your children. Okay, I'm gonna use a fluffy crease brush and we are going to just kind of shear this all over the lid. I'm gonna put this on the lid and then I'm going to kind of feather it out into the crease. I like to use these as shadows. I like to use the darker ones as eyeliner. They're beautiful. You can use them as eye primers as well. So you could put a shadow on top of it if you want. They are very, very long wearing and they're so easy to blend and they're very consistent. Whether you're going with the matte shades or the shades that have more shimmer or like a foil to them, they're all very consistent. Look at that, so beautiful. It's like the prettiest, creamiest blend. The key is just not applying too much. So really apply a little sheer layer and then build it if you want more. And I would recommend doing that with any liquid or cream shadows because depending on the textures, if you apply a thick layer, sometimes if some of them dry, they might dry and look dry or cracky on the eyes. These don't at all, but in general, apply a very sheer, even layer of cream or liquid shadows. Perfect. This is so pretty. It almost has a little bit of a plummy tone to it. So see, I still have quite a bit left. You know what I'm actually gonna do? I'm actually gonna take that and we're gonna run that on our lower lash line to create a smoky line. So I'm taking a small little pencil brush and we're gonna run this right on our lower lash line. I'm gonna wipe this off my hand before it dries because then I'll never be able to get it off. No, I'm kidding. You can get it off real easily with makeup remover, but it'll stay otherwise. Okay, so this is just that one color fix in the shade Exposed on my eye, on the lid, crease, and my lower lash line. Next, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna add a little bit of shimmer to the lid to highlight. So we're gonna go in with the shade Ballerina. This is a really pretty, highly shimmery, soft, kind of champagne pink. Let me show you what it looks like. Very beautiful and foiled. And I'm just gonna take my finger, actually, what's on my finger, and we're just gonna kind of blend that into the center of the lid. I'm gonna layer it to add a little bit more. So pretty. So that didn't really change the color, but you can see it added a really beautiful shimmer. So when the light hits it, it reflects. It's the prettiest little detail. Okay, so last we're gonna go in and create liner, and I'm having fun with these color fix. So I'm gonna go in with this shade. This is the shade Chocolate, and we're gonna line the eyes. This is a beautiful, rich, deep brown with almost a hint of like aubergine or red to it. It's really, really beautiful. I wanna find a little eyeliner brush. Let's see what we have. Okay, so I couldn't find a really tiny eyeliner brush here in front of me, but I did find this brush. This is a very stiff brush. It has a really flat, stiff tip. This is the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy. This is the A505. And I'm just gonna use the tip of this brush to line. So I'm just using that tip. This is why I have a hard time like confining eye brushes into like, oh, this is, you know, only an eyeliner brush, or this is only a concealer brush, or this is only, because I find myself using brushes for different purposes like I'm doing right now. Like this is not an eyeliner brush, but I'm making it work. So when this goes on the eye, it has a lot of like purple to it. Do you see that? Perfect. So I'm gonna take this little pencil brush and we're just gonna kind of run it softly on the edge of that liner. This is just gonna soften it and kind of smoke it out a little bit. I still want it to look like liner, but because we went a little thicker, I want it to have a softer look. There we go. That is such a beautiful color. This color is so pretty. Okay, so now what I've taken is I've taken my fluffy crease brush and I've kind of just diffused that wing a little bit. So we still have the look of liner, but it's almost where you can't see where it stops and starts because it just diffuses into the rest of the eye makeup. Okay, last I'm gonna take a shade just to highlight my brow bone. And I like to use a shade, not too shimmery, but not matte. I want a little bit of a sheen to it. You can also use like a lighter face powder. This one is just from this little Urban Decay palette. It's so important to have a little palette like this handy. Something neutral, where all the shades are matte and neutral and not too exciting, to be honest. Like, this isn't a really exciting palette, but it's one of my most used palettes. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna curl the lashes and give some dramatic lashes. I'm gonna use a great combo. I'm gonna use my Dior Lash Primer, and I'm gonna use my Bobbi Brown Smoky Lash Mascara. This is a mascara that doesn't get enough attention. It's absolutely beautiful, but first let's go in and layer the primer. This mascara gives lots of volume and length, and what I love about it is it gives very feathery lashes, very wispy looking lashes, lashes that look like lash hair and not just like mascara. I mean, it looks like mascara, but it just has a more fluttery look to it than other mascaras. Oh, look what I did. Okay, so whenever you do something like this, just let it sit. I know we have this urge to clean it up, especially like me when you're filming videos and you know everyone's just like, eyes are going into that. Let it sit for a little while until it has time to dry. Most mascaras will just flake off the skin really easily once they're completely dry. They're really meant to adhere to hair, not to skin. So let it sit and completely dry. Okay, so I've really built the lash up. Now I'm just kind of winging out the lashes to give kind of a cat eye look, and then applying a little light coat on my lower lashes. Okay, I don't want to risk it. I'm gonna let that mascara sit there for another second. I know it's probably driving you guys crazy, but it's gotta stay. Let's go in for lips. So for lips, we're doing a Tarte Maracuja combo. I'm using the Maracuja Juicy Lip Lip Liner in the shade Rosy Brown, and I'm using the Maracuja Juicy Lip in the shade Rose. One of my favorite lip products. I love the formula of this. I love the feel of it on my lips. I love the way that it looks. And now I feel like a lot of brands have formulas like this. This was one of the first that I tried, so maybe that's why it's my favorite. It just is like the combination of a gloss and a lip balm together. Super glossy, juicy lips. It's a thicker formula, so when you apply it, and I'll get there, let me go ahead and apply the lip liner first. I'm going to slightly overline my lips to give a little more volume. All right, so now that we have the lip liner in place, we're gonna go and apply the Maracuja Juicy Lip. So about these, when it's a brand new one, I find you can definitely just swipe it on like you would a normal lipstick. Once you've used it a few times, I find the best way to apply it is to actually kind of bounce it on the lip. These warm up really quickly and easily, and sometimes when they are, you know, you've had a few uses of them, you can get like chunks of product on the lip. So you just wanna apply it differently than you would think you would. So I like to just kind of bounce it onto the lip, and you're still gonna get that beautiful color and that high shine. Since this one's new and I haven't used it, I'm able to gently swipe it on the lips, but don't put too much pressure. Oh, this looks so good. These are just like, they give your lips a very plump, full, glossy look. They feel amazing on the lips. The color is just tinted, so I find that you can really wear any color, even a bright or bold or dark color when it goes on the lips is gonna be quite a bit lighter and sheerer than it looks. So there's a lot of versatility. You can also wear them over a lipstick, you can wear them over a lip liner, or you can wear them by themselves. So this is the finished look. I kind of love the way the eye makeup came out. I love how soft and blended and diffused everything looks. It's really that Color Fix formula. If you haven't tried these Color Fix products from Danessa Myricks, just pick one up. Just pick one up and play with it. I promise you, you will be like, it'll be your next favorite product. So that's all I have on the eyes. I don't have any powder shadow. I don't have any pencil liner or liquid liner. I just use the Color Fix all over my eye, and I love the way that it came out. They're so versatile. Depending on the brush you use or the tool you use to apply it, you can get really any look. You can get the look of liquid liner with it. You can get the look of a cream shadow. I mean, they're just stunning. So I'll have all the products that I use listed and linked in the description box. They're all available at Sephora. I do want to thank Sephora again for sponsoring this video. Thank you guys so much for watching it. I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.